Right, small bit of an update on Tullamore show. So we were up there anyway, and no, we hid it away at 3:30 because small kids with us, and it was one of their birthdays, so we weren't going to give the whole day walking around there. But we were there for Micheál Martin's speech. We were there for the whole entrance of it, and fantastic speech he gave. If he was someone that actually gave a shite about the country, it would have actually been a great speech. Someone that had a backbone and cared about agriculture, cared about anything to do with that, would have been a great speech. But he went on ballooning on his whole usual crap. That he's doing this and doing that, look to the future, and oh, jeez, it was amazing. But 34 guards, that's what was around to make sure no one could go anywhere. You couldn't be asked a question. We were all kept far enough away that there was no point in saying anything, there's no one to hear you, you know. So the second it was all over, anyone that did make a move to go up and ask him questions, you were stopped dead in your tracks. So we were kind of going, he was swooped away with the back. So that, don't know, it was a bit of an anticlimax that way, but gave it a couple of minutes. People were doing interviews and doing this and that and doing the other thing. And whatever look we gave, Micheál Martin was over at the Fianna Gael tent, or Fianna Fáil tent, which was directly behind us. Shaking hands and, you know, people oodling and on over him. So there was no real Garda presence, so we went straight over it. So first thing that was said is, Micheál, how do you feel looking out at all the people that you turned the army on? Now, second started speaking, the guards started coming out of everywhere. Obviously, no answer. Micheál, how do you feel about all the diesel the people born to get here today and all the tax are taken out of it? No answer. No, like, we're right 10 feet away from Micheál, like. So I said, Micheál, what about all the people that are breaking their arses day in day out, Monday to Friday, to try and make something, and you turn the army on them people? They had a guard right up to my face. He says, you can't swear in public. I said, I didn't swear in public. You did, you said arse. That lad should be chasing crows around the field, like. You said arse. Well, we all have an arse. So, anyway, there was another man there. He told him, no, leave him alone, leave him alone. So I said, Micheál, what about the payments you promised the 1st of July to pay out your big 750 million budget that you, or payment or roll, whatever you want to call it, that you planned? No one's got it yet. What do you feel about that? So I just pretty much kept saying the same thing. How do you feel about bringing all the army down and everyone? And next thing, boom, gone, straight into the tent. Like, very hard to get very close to these people, in my opinion. Look, there was a lady in her 70s walked past. She called me, she told me I was a disgrace. Well, as long as you've been alive, lady, you've done nothing. That's why the government are gone as bad as they are. No, I would never say anything. She's entitled to her opinion. Many people think I'm an asshole. Absolutely fine with it. But that's what I think needs to be done. Shame them when they're trying to do their little hands, to get their little photos, do all this. Absolutely shame. So, yeah. Once the questions were asked in, this wasn't caught by many, but once the questions were asked in, we had a line of guards in front of us. Couldn't get near him, and he ran back into his tent. So, yeah, I just said to the guard, I said, it's a sad state of affairs that you need this many guards, just in case someone asked a question. I said, I'm not doing anything wrong here, I'm just asking a question. So, that was the general gist of it. And, yeah, ran away, answer nothing, say nothing, wouldn't even make eye contact. Once the questions started going, people started obviously looking at us, we were a bit loud. Not in an aggressive way, just getting our questions around, about 10 feet apart, just making sure our questions were heard. And straight back into the tent. Just ran into the tent. So as long as he was out there before that, shaking hands, doing all these nights, oh jeez, and she great, shaking hands with all the kids, that he's going to ruin their future. So yeah, that's it. Just update on what happened.